Hello everyone and welcome to another live stream here on the twitch.tv/the Xisuma. I got that feeling like I forgot to do something important, didn't I? But I don't know what it is. I think I pressed all the buttons and turned all the dials. One thing I do have to do is probably find these guys at home at some point. They just make their little noises here. Something like that. I gotta take a trip over to Tango Tech's area. He farmed some cobwebs for me. Gotta go pick them up. Very kind of you, Tango. Thanks for doing that. I know you're probably not watching, but I'll thank you anyway. Welcome to the peeps in chat, tuning in. Let me know if everything is good with the stream. These should, yeah, mostly be empty. And everything in there can just get sorted away. Bam. Good. We're going to be building some map art today. That is the plan for the stream. The live stream that we're doing here on a Sunday. Aston says, hello everyone, happy Sunday. And a happy Sunday to you. Hi everyone, and Exo stayed up all night and I am in NZ. Oh, I'm in GY. I was in BL, but now I'm in GY. No, I know New Zealand is New Zealand. It is. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's North Zona, because there's a place in America called Zona, isn't there? Yeah, definitely, possibly. What's a country that begins with Z? You're in North Zland, you know. Zimbabwe? You're in North Zimbabwe, right? Got it. Okay, maybe Tango left them. Let me go read the message from Tango. Maybe he left them somewhere for me. Oh, they're in his base. Okay. What I'm gonna do is I don't know if I told him the right amount. I've got a feeling I did, but like, just in case, I'm gonna. Right now, I'm going to stream, and when I'm done streaming, I'm basically going to continue doing what you see in the stream until it's done. That is my plan. So, I will go return those after, if I have some left over. Don't worry. I'm sure it's not a big deal, but I never like to, you know, impede on anyone else's stuff. Now, which portal is Tango? It's one of these two. No, maybe actually that's not. I mean, it's probably not this one. No, it's probably. What blocks is Tango building with this season, right? Oh, dude, look. Oh, it's probably this. This looks like deck. It's probably this one. It's probably this one right here, isn't it? Oh, look, he's even put Cub Fan's face up there, because Tango loves Cub Fan. I mean, that kind of looks like Tango's skin, right? If you turn your head sideways and twist it around a little bit, and then you get that throbbing pain. And then all the colors change color. Yeah, kind of looks a little bit like that. Let's just roll the dice and go for this one that probably isn't Tango's. Probably not Tango's. No, it's Gem's portal, you see. Yeah. Happens to be next door to Tango, though, so that's convenient. Thank you, Tango. In a green like the colour of my skin. How thoughtful of you. That's a great way to communicate with me. Because I'm notorious for not noticing obvious things. Let me jump. There we go. I could probably just fly. Whee! Actually, I need to go to here next, so perfect. Right, now, I've got a hot cup of tea. Time to start drinking it. Joe Lasco says, I see stars now. That means you're doing it right. Keep doing it, you'll see more stars. Definitely a good thing. Oh, almost hit that. Gosh, I'm glad I wasn't holding my cup of tea. Let's drop in and grab a map in this top corner. That is kind of the perfect space for this, especially considering how little of anything else there is. Okay, I'm going to use that as our starting point. And the rest is block placing. That's all we've got to do. Just watch your update video, totally Weeping Angel vibes. Oh yeah, we're totally going to talk about the new update. I'm thinking of doing like a follow-up video. You know, in the past I would do something like that, like thoughts and feelings or whatever, and then you just get out of the habit of doing those sorts of videos, and I was like, hey, why not? Is there any room for me new cobwebbies? I'm gonna go in here. I think I already grabbed it, but let's get a couple extra stacks of cobblestone. There's a new update, question marks, says Coco. Don't go to my YouTube channel looking for videos about the new stuff. Don't. There's nothing there to see. Also, don't hit subscribe. Doctor Who and Minecraft crossover, says Queen Mercury. They've probably done that. There's probably a marketplace map related to Doctor Who, I'd imagine. You know how it be these days. Minecraft will sell its soul for anything, even Crocs. Even Crocs. Okay, let's get a moving and grooving over to this place on the map, actually. So, I mean, I guess I want to make my traversing easier by spotting a nether portal nearby. This is probably close to the area. Joe's just kind of off the map. Yeah, probably flying down from Joe's is the way to get there. Do you wear Crocs, X? I've got some dirty Crocs that I use to step outside and do gardening work or just take the bins out or whatever. They're very comfortable, but they're just like, they have that utility to them for me. Shouldn't I? No, why am I thinking I should see me? I have to be close to the map before I see me on it, right? South, yeah. I have opened the video, says Coco. Don't! It's a trap! There's no useful information in it. Is it locked, question mark? No, these maps are not locked. Am I just misremembering this? Like, when you're near to a map, you see the player icon on it, right? I think we're just not close enough yet. Unless it's not locked. I could have also grossly miscalculated where... Speaking of gross miscalculations, that's B-dubs. We gotta go this way. Oh, we'll see. We'll see. Oh, do you know what's beautiful? Having that in your offhand. That's a beautiful thing right there. That's a great convenience. Xisuma, what's your opinion on the fact that I'm still here with 3 lots of work due tomorrow? Do your work, homie. Get on top of it. Don't make me feel responsible. Okie dokie. So we're going this way somewhat. Oh, we're here. We're here. We've arrived. Oh, that didn't take long. I kind of want to find the very... I actually like don't need to put this in the very top corner. So if I just put it like near the top corner, it means I have to update 3 maps. If I get it on the very edge of the border, I only have to update 2. I think I'm gonna just try and align it because why not? Why not, eh? I wish I had a zoom key right now. A zoom key on my map. No, it doesn't zoom in on the map. Didn't think it would. Why would it? I guess this is the time to hold it like that. That appears to be on the very edge of the map, but I think you can also see a bit of that. Let's go one more over. And then check out what it looks like. Now it's not. It's not there. Sweet, we found the edge of the map. Doesn't have to be the very top corner either. So this, my friends, is where we start today's shenanigans. And therefore, it is time for a very special guest on this live stream. Okay? Oh, you're going to love this. It's the one, the only. xisumavoid logging onto the... Oh, the camera account's here. How wonderful. Let's go... I know you can't see any of this. Let's go teleport. And my camera account is going to do the flashback stuff. Just got to start the recording. And like that, we are flashing it all back. They call flashbacks replays. I really wish they, like, stronger branding. Just call it flashback. Also, no, why am I starting that? That's not... I've got the wrong ideas in my head. Let's cancel the flashback. Okay, I cancelled it. No, you can't see it, but yeah. For some reason, you're supposed to put, like, a row of cobblestone down, and I don't know why. So if we go... Let's see. If we go... Yeah, we've got to open up this. I haven't done any of this. I was going to start placing blocks, and then I was like, I don't know what to place. No, we don't want that. We want to place a schematic. No, we want to load a schematic. Okay. Lots of text. Rendering is occurring. See, look, there's a line of cobble. I think you might just remove it after or something. Is the idea. And I don't think I actually want to build it in the water, right? So the thing is, I want to leave some water. I'm not sure if the height difference will mess with how it looks on the map. And I can't remember if we used any powdered blocks. I don't think we would have. I think we would have just swapped it over to concrete. So there's no, like, issues with placing this as far as I can see. Should all be pretty straightforward. I don't think we have to worry about block rotations either. Could have made a joke, you know, like... What does it say? I we he? Oh sassy? Can't read these words. The cobble line at the top is to make sure the tint of the top row is correct. It should be outside the map. Oh, the tint of the top row? The heck is that? I mean, I'm probably just going to remove it after anyway. Let's also... Okay, what am I deciding here? I think I'm deciding I can place it all one block lower. And then is it any easier to place these blocks? I don't think it's going to be a big deal to place them in water. Some stuff, though, might be waterlogged. Cobwebs can't be waterlogged. Glow lichen can. So that then means you place it last. Might end up having to do some annoying stuff with moving it down a level. I guess the only harm to building it up one level is if you actually need the water blocks to be the same level, which I don't think you do. So, no, I think that's the height that we build this at. Then that means we've got to build the next one. So, this thing had to be split into halves. So we should have two here. There we go. So like 192 and 1082. Bring it down there. Now it's in the same spot. Something's changing. Okay, let's go up a level. Don't know why, but I'm having a hard time seeing it. Oh, it's because I'm like in the middle of it. Okay, so from here, it should be a lot easier. Plus, I can now see the edge of the screen. This is probably the easy way to do it all along. Yeah, so if I add 64 to that number, and then drop that down by 1. Why does it start and end? That... What does that say? Here, craft. Sin 10. Sign 10. Okay, gross miscalculations were made. The number 64 is the height of this thing. And the width is 128. Oops, pressing the wrong buttons. go configure. I need to add another 64. There we go. That looks legit, doesn't it? Oh, I keep pressing the wrong button combos. The cobble needs to be in the above map chunks unless it's part of the map. Why does it need to be like that? The color of a map pixel changes based on what height the block directly north of it is. To keep it flush and all the same color, the top ones need an extra row. Oh, I see why, yeah. The thing is, though, I won't leave them there because it's part of a bigger map. So it doesn't make sense to put it in the next map above because then it will just appear on the next map above. Unless I never update it, which I don't plan on doing, so... This is the tool is for making map art. It's not for making art that appears on a big array of maps, right? So my use case is slightly different. That's what we're building today, peeps. Now, because I haven't been out here before much, not all of it is loading, so... Right, I've decided we're building this above the water. And I'm happy with that decision, so I think we're now actually good to go. Dr. Smiley1652, here for 2 months, subscribing smiles. That's what you do, isn't it, Dr. Smiley? You subscribe the smiles. Thank you, my dude. Appreciate it. 2 months of support. Let's do this again. I could put it upside down just to be excessively irritating. That's my thumbnail, I'm thinking. Just an upside down logo, just to make you go, what? Nah. Actually, I think I'll take one later. When we actually play some blocks here. Yes, sub for smiles or laughs, says Dr. Smiley. Thank you, my dude. Appreciate it. Jalasco says, geez, don't make me laugh, man. I'm recovering from surgery and it hurts. Gee, I'm sorry. I should have known better. I should have known you were recovering from surgery. How terrible of me to be uninformed. Haunted Magma says, what's the situation with the idea to put invisible floating text in the sky for map labels X? It's been a while since I heard that talked about. Check out the next episode of Hermitcraft. Hopefully coming tomorrow. That is what the next episode of Hermitcraft is all about. I am just doing the final project for that one. And Twitch has gifted a sub. Twitch, what are you doing? Stealing Ishan's thunder, I see. Ishan, thank you for gifting 5 subs to Pancake Sushi, Aosicha, To Impress, Cinnamon Chocolate, and Supersonic. Very much appreciate the gifting the subs around here. It's always appreciated. Thank you so much. Twitch coming in to steal some thunder with a little gifted sub to Corky Couts. Very cheeky, Twitch. Very cheeky. Yeah, look, I did put 2 stacks of cobble in. Okay, that's good, because I'm now looking at this and realizing we need a couple of things. One is a platform in which to work from, which doesn't have to be too big, I guess. The trick is, as you expand... Oh, we got company. Hopefully without a trident. Oh, you won't let me sleep, you... Ah! Jeez, I'm annoyed now. I am annoyed. Well, it'll soon be day, so you can burn up. Yeah, the thing is, I'm going to need to access, like, lots and lots of blocks. So I had this idea. You know what? They've all got the same block on it, so let's hold on to it. I had this idea that we would sort of move out. Okay, there's another one. Do I have magma somewhere? Yep. Because what I learned is you keep taking trips back and forth to this, like, one location. So if you can, just periodically move these across is kind of the idea. So looking at that, I can actually get everything I need from these 4 chests to begin with. And then as we expand, we'll move out. Ask that schemavoid guy to sleep wherever he is. Camera account. Can't even sleep. Useless. Right, let's go and start the replay. Flashback. Dang, I was talking about branding. I think they should call, instead of calling them replays, just call them flashbacks. Also, 2 stacks of cobble is 128. The width for this thing is 256. So I don't know how I got that. Oh my god, I've just had a horrible realization. I've gathered enough materials, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, I need someone to do the math. I think I might have gathered enough materials for 1 map. How do I do this to myself over and over again? How? I literally don't understand. Because I think the list that I had was for 1/2 of the map, which would I can't even be bothered to finish this. I can't even be bothered. My elytra durability is fine, don't worry about it. Oh my god. I can't believe that. Like, surely not. It's now it occurs to me it's quite possible. I really want to end this episode that I'm making. It has to go out tomorrow. I got a deadline. I really want it to just finish with this map art. So I was all game to spend all day on it today. But I didn't think it would take me like more than 3 or 4 hours. Was kind of my estimate. Now I'm thinking if I haven't gathered all the materials for it, it might just end up unfinished. Does someone want to do a little bit of quick math for me? Okay, because I'm placing blocks. Grab a calculator. Or just use your brain if you're super smart, if you've got lots of those brain cell things. I've only got a few, so I can't do it myself. But map arts can take a deceptively long time, says Spooky Dokie. Well, this is 256, which is 4 stacks, time by 64 deep. Why do I got a feeling that that's wrong? Why do I got a feeling that's wrong? I need to check the map here, don't I? How far along am I? And how on earth have I placed all the cobble? How far along am I on this thing? Wait. No, Hermitcraft, okay. So somewhere here we're at the halfway point, right? Okay, so that bit's correct. But that's 256 blocks. How did I just run out of cobble? Or is it actually 512? Because I split it. Okay. Okay. The amount of times in this game where I like calculate, figure stuff out, and then go to do it and something's wrong, I literally cannot believe. Like, I cannot believe how many times I get it wrong. I'm going to stop my little replay thing and just go double check again, because all of a sudden something's really off. So all we've done is place cobble, that's fine. I want to double check some things here. So I went to the wiki to look up the map. Let's do that again. On here, you can search for the default size, which is 128 by 128. So 256 for the total thing seems about right. Now, didn't I just have like 4 stacks of cobble on me, right? If I'm not mistaken. Or did I actually leave some of that inside of one of these? Am I missing a shulker box all of a sudden? Where's the one with the extra cobble in? Because I saw it. Dude, did I like drop one of these into the ocean? There's no empty spaces. So where's the one that had the cob? Am I... Maybe I put the cobweb in? Oh my god. Don't tell me I just lost a box or something. Ugh. I mean, I did place a few blocks here. Okay, and one of these needs to, like, let me up onto the platform, right? Or maybe I'm just not thinking it through enough. Like, how far along did I get? To about there? Something just feels really off. Okay, it hasn't loaded the last bit because it's out of view distance or something. Ender chest? Yeah, I do have an ender chest. I think I'm just spooking myself a little bit right now. I'm going to grab the calculator because this just feels wild to me. Okay, so like 256 is the width. Times that by 64, which is the depth. And you get 16,000 blocks, okay? I got to admit, that does not look like it's 64 deep. That looks like it's 128 deep. So I'm going to go double check some numbers, right? I'm going to open up the program that I made this image in. I'm sure it was 64. Dude. The logo is stretched out. I know what's happened. It's the logo. The logo is stretched out. They've stretched it out to fit 2. Which, okay, so like if I divide 16,000, which is the amount of blocks we should be placing, by 20, let's actually go back a step. Sorry, 16,834. Divide that by 64 for stacks, 256. Then divide that by 27 for shulker boxes. I should have about 9.5 shulker boxes to place, right? Considering that a lot of this would be water, I've got 4 shulker boxes on me, plus that 10. Like, and one of them isn't even full. So clearly, I've got roughly the right amount of resources. I did pick up half, right? But at the same time, I think it stretched this out. That is not the original image that I gave it. It changed it. So I can actually fix this problem, I believe. I just need to do some... nothing ever goes to plan, man. Nothing ever goes to plan, does it? Truth is, if I wasn't streaming, I just would have noticed this at some point and then had to fix it, so... I mean, like, a lot of life is probably just bumping your head into stuff and problem solving anyway, right? So... sometimes you just frame it differently. Yeah, but when I go and look at my images that I've got here, I can see exactly what's happened. Okay, so I need to give this thing images that are like bigger, and we're gonna run out of materials. So a map is 128 by 128. We're going to run out of materials potentially, but it could also be really close because we only gathered enough for half, so we're probably going to be off by a little bit somewhere. Better to notice it now than way later, says Lightly Lucid. So true. Like, we are really quite lucky, but then again, it kind of makes sense we would spot it now, right? Like, you start doing the thing, and then you're like, hang on, something's off. Something ain't right here. So, the images that I have that I gave to that website, and honestly, I probably should have spotted it already. They are the correct dimension, but now, if you haven't been following it, because I ramble a lot, right? Like, I'm figuring it out on the fly and waffling. What's happened is, it's stretched the image that I gave it. So now I need to go and modify this, which I'm doing off camera, and then give it back to the thing again. Right, and then do the other side. I've got to go find the same website again. I know I've got it bookmarked somewhere, but... X is lost in math. Kinda. Right, that's all done. Brilliant. I'm telling you what I'm doing off camera, basically. I'm describing it to you. It's like the old-timey movies. It's like we're going backwards in tech. It's just a radio show now. A radio show about a block game. Imagine a block. Imagine I'm placing one above it. We're going to have a splendid time and drink lots of tea. Tune in at 9. Right, what am I searching for? That doesn't look like it, but I'll try. That's the one. Got it. I thought I'd recognize it. Okay, so now I've got to go Ooh, there's another awkward bit about this, which is that there was a bunch of settings and stuff. Oh, I've got to go through this whole process again. Whole process. Which is kind of icky, because if I miss any details here, it'll kind of bite me on the bum a bit. Okay. Yep. That's fine. I don't know what that means. Okay, that's what that means. That one. Okay, now I've got to... Ooh, my image has gone completely grey, which is not promising. Now, there was a differing method that I picked, and I think I know what one it is, but currently the map preview's just gone completely grey. Oh boy, this is tough. But Potato, thank you for 45 months. Very much appreciated, my dude. Wiggly Fox, thank you for 54. And Richard Thornton with a raid. Thank you so much. Peeps, you're staring at a problem right now. The image that I have here is stretched. Because the generator website that I was using stretches the image. You've basically tuned in at the most boring point of the stream possible, and the map preview isn't working, which is rough to say the least. It also, not only is it not working, it's literally telling me that the entire image is supposed to be... I don't know what's going on. Twitch! What the heck? How is Twitch gifting so many... What the heck just happened? I actually don't understand what just happened. Twitch is coming in and stealing Lucky Tiger Kiddens. Is there a thing on today? I was joking about it earlier, but is there something happening? Because Twitch has just gifted an insane amount of subs. And I'm desperately trying to focus on what I'm doing here. What is wrong with the image I'm giving it? If I give it the old one... Oh, maybe the website's broken or busted or something. Let's try again. Refreshing it. Right, I get the correct image. Oh boy. Wait, at what point does it go wrong? Not yet. I actually think I might know why it went wrong, but right, let's let me entertain you for a second, peeps. Welcome all the raiders to geez, what is probably the most uninteresting stream you've ever tuned in for. I apologize. Lucky Tiger Kitten, thank you so much for your generosity. I really appreciate it. Gifting a sub to Range A12, Masked Mooseman, Zwifty92, Unfit Cheetah, Public Introvert, Lethal Lizard, Chilari, Clawcrin 9, Ericas World, King V33, and Richard Thornton is gifting a sub as well to Lily Mae Darling. Thank you so much, my dude. Appreciate the raid and a gifted sub. And then Twitch is coming in and just throwing gifted subs all over the place here. I don't know what's going on today. What promo are they running? Plushy Angela, Wowsy, Lady Hawk, Pay Me to Row, One Hermie, Kamikakian, Raudal Duke 710420, Yukul, Expelder Winter, Zypher, Matsy, Professor Dr. Hamster, Nubs Fisk, Liliarian Full, Cactus Puppy, Oh My God It's John, Automatic Online, Mr. Spooky Cag, Mombi79, Yuki. That's terrifying! Gosh, why did that sound so loud? It was like 4. They all did it at the same time and it sounded awefuler. Oh, now I'm in the water. Let Extreme in peace. I was just reading names, man. Oh my God. One of these days I'm gonna make my own computer game. And I'm gonna conspire to get it into the hands of Mojang employees. And right in the middle of their game, all of a sudden, loud noises and constant harassment. And they're gonna love it. They're gonna be like, oh my God, we should put this in our game. Leave me alone. I hate it. Just freaking phantoms, man. Can't a guy stand around in peace? You lot suck and you know it. Get me in the bed. Yes. I flew into the bed. Come on, get rid of them. Ah! I hate it. Oh, this is my new mini game. This is my new mini game. It's like the challenge is to try and get them far enough away that you can hide. No! You lot suck. Ah! Okay. This is really winding me up. And there's mobs everywhere here. Of course there is. Of course there is. Right, I'm going to land on top of the tree gracefully. The game is going to be like, yes, you can sleep right here. No! They're so... Oh, my God. I hate them. I hate them. Oh. Just... I've already been set back enough. I've already been set back enough. This harassment was not warranted. Oh, I forgot where I was in that list. Super Mares, Paws, Nicky Doodoo, Bruce Knight, Shifty, Julie's watching. Thanks so much for tuning in. Twitch gifted you that sub. I don't know why. I see no messages in chat. However, all the messages are now referring to our local neighborhood harassment crew, the Phantoms. Let's take a moment to appreciate Mojang's game design decision there. See Discord, apparently, for every 5 gifted Twitch subs, Twitch will sub a random amount on top. Oh, it's a random amount on top, right? That makes sense. That makes sense, because that was a lot more than... That was like more than 1 for 1 right then. Got it, got it. It's September. Well, peeps, thank you for the gifted subs. Gifting them now gifts a little more, I guess. Oh, I can use chunk borders to find the exact corner of a map. That's cool. Ed Network, thank you so much for 98. 98! Oh, Ed, you're getting so close. Next month, I'll be taking your name to the dungeon, and the dungeon master will be preparing your cell. Oh my God, it's going to happen. Right. Yo! I think like about 50 subs just rolled in on my screen. I can't get anything done today. I can't get anything done. I'm trying to do work here. What is going on? I can't focus. I'm looking at my map preview and now it's like the colors don't make sense. They're not. What's up with the preview? Everything is going wrong. Schematic, map size, crop the center grid, staircasing is off. No blocks underneath. But the preview doesn't look like a map. It just looks like the regular image. Yo, this thing is broken! Oh, it's massively... The website's broken. Are you kidding me? I can't get this thing to work. Wait a minute. Wait, that's how you do it. Oh, there we go. There's a setting that's kind of obscure over to the side, and now it looks good. Okay, let me read some names again. Oh my God. I'm sorry. This level of entertainment is unacceptable. I know. Ishan, thank you for gifting subs and setting Twitch on fire. Okay. I'm going to read a lot of names. The Growing Lingbear. Lukoa is Dragon. Astian 83. The King Aeon. Strandberg. Eek Meadval. Jojen. Dr. Rat PhD. John 5K. Cactus Astronaut. Get Gooden. Be Bear. Peach Likes Purple. Ice Blaze. Auntie Jen. Dante Ever Micelis. Madam Sir. Lego Space Guy. Oars 2288. Creepiest Crow. Prisms. Siler Payne. Gareth B. Quantum Rainfall. And Am Pharaoh. Y'all be gifted subs. Be sure to say thanks in the chat. In fact, in the chat today, use the new emote. Let's see a riot. I want to see a riot in the chat. Let's riot away. Lightly Lucy says, suffering from success. There is no success right now. I am miserably bumbling my way through the settings here to try and restore us to our former glory. I'm now picking out the differing method. Because I can't remember what I had it set to. And I think I'm just going to go with this one. Right, now, I believe pretty much everything is as it were. And then the material list looks the same. Now, I just need to double check a couple of things, which is like, I'm going to use cobwebs, and I can't remember if I picked other materials here deliberately. Like, I know diorite was one, white concrete. There's a lot of terracottas. Ow! It's happening again! I'll get nothing done this stream, I swear. I swear. I don't know if bone blocks are a thing here, but I probably would have picked that. I would have picked packed ice. Redstone blocks over TNT. I remember picking that one. Leaf blocks, I'm pretty sure I've got of me. Let's go check that. I've either got bamboo or leaf blocks, right? Or none, because it never got used. Bamboo or leaf blocks. Nope. That one probably doesn't matter then. I think I went for stone instead of cobble. Got the water bucket. All right, then we get to the white blocks. Diorite, I remember picking, and then it's white concrete. It'll all be concrete for these. Why would I use anything else but concrete? That being said, that's not true because I've got loads of walls with me. Okay, so magenta is true. Oh, it's so difficult to reverse engineer stuff sometimes. So yeah, look at this. I've gone for terracottas, but they're not the same as the other ones, I'm pretty sure. White concrete. So yeah, pink, blue, light blue. Those are walls. Pink, blue, light blue. Purple, grey, and light grey. Purple, grey, light grey. Cyan. Okay, cyan. Anything else? Anything similar? No walls there. I think we're good. So then black was blackstone instead of black wall. That's why we don't have any black blocks. Okay. I remember selecting prismarine bricks, but I don't think we end up using that. Okay. Do I use calcite or white terracotta here? Purple, magenta, blue, light blue. Okay, so I think I'm going to leave the terracottas all alone. I remember picking mud, though, so I'll select that. Okay. I think I might have selected copper at one point. Or maybe I never got around to picking up nylium. I'm pretty sure there's like some nylium blocks that need to be a part of this that I maybe never picked out. So if I switch to wax copper, I got more of that than it. Deep slate. Yep, I definitely remember getting that. And then glow lichen at the end. Okay, that is the list of all the stuff. I hope I haven't missed anything here. Let me read some... Oh, it just hasn't stopped. I don't even know where the last lot are. Goodness me. Goodness me. Okay, where did it start again? Lucky Tiger Kitten. Thank you so much for your generosity. I appreciate it on a time like this, where there's not much else going on. Stephaz, Sea Nature, Crazy Stapler, Mr. Kubiko, Comronny, Gins Up Pumpkin, Snails with Socks, Spring Angel, Jane the Brain, Mithorandir29, Nowub, Mr. Cheeks, Nightthang 008, Grumpy Axolotl, All About Hamilton, Northern Philly, Bailey Grace 16, Powered by Wolves, Detonating D, Ben J MR, Addy B 18, Emery Gomez, Tomb Spider, Foxy Renew, y'all been gifted subs, and Cherry Pie coming in. Goodness me, it just doesn't stop today. Lofty Lime, I Am Squid, Oglazed, X Chaser, Flawed Opal. Ah, Opal gems are amazing. Joe Airy, Gab0730, Merlin Mistress, and I Am the Doctor is here. resubscribing for 26 months. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the support. Always appreciated. Let's go download. It's an MBT file. I can't remember if I had to run it through a converting thing or not. Let's go run that again on the opposite side. Rename this file. Okay. I'm going to add a big thing on the end of that. Download this. Go back to that one. Okay, let's try and speed this next part up. I'm going to grab these two files and bring them over to the game. Instances, Hermitcraft 10. Where are schematics? There they are. Brilliant. Right. Brilliant. Come on. Let's get back up to speed. Do you know what I should have done? I should have double-checked the material list just to see if anything was off. And now that I go over it again, it kind of looks to me like it's all good so far. It really looks like everything is good, actually. I might not have the wax oxidized copper, but that's fine. I'll have some in my ender chest. Right, let's get back to it, shall we? There's 600 of y'all tuned in. Thank you for tolerating this nonsense. We'll get started soon. What a surprise. 46 minutes and I haven't started. I hate it. Why does this always happen in this game? Okay. We're going to put the left one in first, right? So now when we go to load schematics, we will see a fixed edition. Brilliant. I'm going to go in here. And I'm going to look at that. 192.61.1082. That is correct-ish. Let's go add another one. Oh, yeah, let's do a quick thing. Uh-huh. Does something look better now? Does something look correct all of a sudden? Dear Lord. Dear Lord. Mixinu! 19 months, hey, my dude. Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you around. X nonsense is what we signed up for, says Jalasco. You might have, but not everyone is crazy in chat. Just saying. Let's load up the right-hand side, but fixed. And then get in here and configure that sucker. 320 and 1082 again. Oh my god. I think I'm going to have to go make another cup of tea before I start. I just feel insane all of a sudden. I just feel like this is literally insanity. Yay! Let's get a round of yays in chat for that, because that is ready to go. Timmy Wren 404, thank you for 22 months. I'm gonna look, my bum is numb. My bum is absolutely numb. Not everyone in chat is crazy. That's a bold statement. Yeah, it is. Oh, look at the yays in chat. The real yays. He's gonna do something. He's gonna start playing the game now, I think. Hopefully. Here's the thing about all the cobble at the top. It's temporary, right? But I'm going to finish placing it anyway. And then I'm going to go make a cup. Oh my god, I haven't got any cobble on me. I hate it. I will probably fly back and get some for this temporary set of blocks that we're actually going to remove. I might as well just remove them now. Right, I'm going to go boil the kettle. And then I can remove these blocks while the kettle is boiling, right? That sounds like a good idea. And then when it's boiled, I'll return. So I won't be gone for long that way. What's the pink cobble block? Pink cobble? Don't know what pink cobble is. You know what I miss? I've really noticed not having speed beacon. I've done so much stuff lately in range of a speed beacon. I really notice it when it's not there. Night Sport, thank you for 35 months, man. Appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Hope you're enjoying it. Thank you for using the Prime on me. Pink cobble is cobble that's pink. I get that. I just what are we referring to? There was no pink cobble in the new update. We're going to talk the new update. I mentioned it earlier. I kind of want to maybe do a follow-up video and get some ideas. I've been reading my comments and seeing lots of interesting suggestions and stuff. Also, I've seen stuff I disagree with as well, so I think we've got some interesting thoughts to be shared on. Do I really need to collect this? I don't think I do. I mean, having a few extra blocks in your inventory, in case you need them, probably not a bad idea. I don't need all of these. Look, let me up! It's not going to let me up, is it? Hey X, I'm watching for the airport right now, says Worms. Oh, awesome. Where are you going to? Or coming from? At the start of the map, there's a block in the cobble line that's wrong. Pink cobble. Oh. Oh, unless you mean all of this. Pink cobble? That? This says shulker box. That's really weird. Why would it be a shulker box there? Wait, it says cobblestone. Oh, wait. Wait. Hang on. Where'd it go? Did it go into my inventory? Okay. Oh my god. I thought I had a shulker box with cobblestone in it, and I did. I placed it on the schematic, and no one noticed. That's right, chat. You didn't notice either. I was testing you all along. Oh, it was a genius test. Don't call me an idiot. Don't even think about it. Oh my god. Oh my god. So I did have the waxed oxidized copper. Good. And I did have these blocks. That makes so much more sense now. Right. And I had enough cobble to leave it all there. Chat, I need a mental and physical break from this activity. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go boil the kettle, so I'll only be gone for a minute. Well, you timing me? How long did I take? Not that long, I hope. X is in prime derp condition with this stream. Quiet, you. Quiet. What happened to the music? Oh, there it is. I can hear it now. I can hear it. Oof. Sitting here waiting for the... It says shulker box to click. It clicked. It clicked. It took 3 hours. Yeah, that sounds about right. That definitely sounds about right. Spot on, mate. Spot on. Let's go get rid of some more of this coal. Anyway, the kettle is boiling. The tea hasn't been made. The kettle is boiling. That's how this works. You've got to boil the kettle first. Right, so I've established that this is probably entirely pointless, having the row of cobble. So in 1 hour, we've placed a bunch of cobble and then removed it. Brilliant. Genius. Oh, so clever. To be fair though, I really wanted to get straight into the stream and get going, and I thought I'll do all the loading the schematic stuff on the stream. It'll be fine. If I hadn't of, I'd probably be sitting here like not seeing the funny side of it, because that's what streaming helps you do. Really, it makes you take it not so seriously. I'll probably be sitting here sweating, face palming, going, "What's going on?" Or even worse, I might have just never spotted the problem until it was too late. Oh god, how is the kettle boiling? How high did you put the temperature? I mean, it's just default, I think. The cobble was necessary to find out the size of the map art was wrong. Actually, it wasn't. Well, it was part of the process of us realizing, but that direction was fine. It was the other direction that was wrong. I didn't realise it had stretched the image. I probably should have noticed that, but hey. I hadn't, so whatever. Right, now if we press that... What? Do that again. It kind of starts here, doesn't it? So there goes the cobble. Bunch of... Well... What's the very first thing I need to do? Put some cobble back so I can place a block over there. You know how it goes. There we go. That's all I need. Right. I left the music screen on last time to encourage you to go check it out. I'm going to go make my cup of tea. Check out the music in the meantime if you haven't done so already. I have returned with a cup of tea that I hope will help restore my sanity. Okay. Okay, thank you for the welcome backs. Let's log back in. Let's do this. Let's do this. I'm ready now. Finally, we can place blocks in block placing game. Oh, wouldn't it be hilarious if I forgot to start my my flashback? No, I remembered. I could have very easily forgotten that though, to be completely frank. Right, I'm going to start with some blue wool and a bunch of blackstone, I believe. Let's go place blocks in the block placing game. Oof, okay, we're doing it. We're off to the start. We're off to a wild start. So, how about that new Minecraft update, right? Point number one. Point number one. Is calling it a game drop a good or a bad thing? Because I've noticed that despite my efforts to communicate it, and maybe my efforts aren't that great because I just tend to say update a lot. We refer to these as updates. The game drop thing doesn't seem to like click with everyone. I was reading my comments and I saw some people saying like, oh, you know, I can't believe this is the next big update of Minecraft. It just looks so low effort and stuff. Despite the title of my video sort of saying this, like, it's not 1.22, right? I don't see the point of calling a drop. How is that different from an update? Yeah, I think I think maybe they're trying to put like a new term on it to distinguish it from an update, but the language of the community is just to call these things updates. So it feels really strange to now be calling it something else, right? That's how I feel about it. And I don't like that they're coinciding with minor updates. It makes explaining what's going on a little tricky. You now have major update, minor update, then you have game drops. You've got experimental features. It's all getting a little convoluted. I think it might make sense to just stop doing the minor updates unless they're for like actual patches, and just put it into the next update number, because it just makes it so much clearer if you're working on one thing at a time. But currently, we've got a minor update that is going to be a game drop that has just taken experimental features out of experimental whilst introducing other experimental features in, and we're revealing a future update that isn't 1.20.2. It's all just starting to get a bit messy, I think, and they should perhaps simplify things a little bit. For someone who plays a lot of games with smaller bi-monthly updates, I don't really associate the update with something big so far, so I'm concerned they should just call everything an update. Yeah, like Buzzy Bee's update was an interesting one. Oh, that was small, but it was given a major version number. And in the past, there was like 1 year where they did 3 relatively small updates and just used the same numbering system. Yeah, it strikes me as, after reading my comments, perhaps starting to get a little messy and convoluted. And they should probably just stick to calling them updates, because that's what the community knows them as. Now, as for people, let's say, misunderstanding the size and scope of an update, I think that's maybe a little bit more on them. It's like, why can't we just have a small update on occasion, right? Why does it always have to be a big update? The drop, I think, is for feature drops. It's a subset of update, but a very specific one. It is, but it's just confusing and convoluted, right? You're just adding in more definitions and... See, blocks like that, I wonder... How did that get in there, right? Just one random one in a sea of black. Ah, but this is what I've been waiting for. Just some relaxing block placing. Turn off the brain, place the blocks. Don't even worry about it. Have I seen the game Tiny Glade? Yeah, you know, I was really keen to play that game, but on the day I just wanted to play Satisfactory instead. So I streamed that. That was the stream I did before this. And I think as much as I like the look of that game... Ah! I kind of felt that about to go wrong right as it did. There was this ominous feeling. I kind of realized that I think I'm not going to like the game because I love the building. I love the aesthetics. I always want that to be a part of a bigger picture. And in that game, it's the whole picture. It's just making something that looks cool. So if that game had like a survival element, or you could do more than just one build or do different themes and etc., I think I would really like it. But it just feels a little bit, I don't know, limited in some sort of way. We got a massive amount of subs coming in again. Goodness me. Stan says, no way I got gifted a sub. Thank you. Hey, Stan, you got one. Lucky you. Let's go read out these names. Stan is one of them. Hey, Lucky Tiger Kitten, thank you again so much. So much. The Final Nothing, Mayho, Queenan, Duderax, Tavikla, Just Nash, Tick, 1959, Stan, Moss Protector, Myketed Daydreamer, Kanoron, and Breadloaf. Thank you so much for gifting those subs again. Hey, Breadloaf, my dude. It just clicked. If that's you. A little alarm went off in my head. bread loaf. Such a, just such an easy like username. I like it. Let's keep placing blocks. Yeah, it's me. Of course it's you. You're bread loaf. I mean, anyone can say that. Just drop me a message. I assume it's you. Of course it would be. Like, why wouldn't it be? Oh my god, when is the next MC Live? Probably next year. I mean, that would be a safe bet as an answer, right? But I reckon maybe early-ish next year. Go back to the update. So I mentioned that now all of the stuff is starting to get a bit convoluted. I think that's a really good point. I mean, do you all agree with that? If you're on top of it like I am, it's like I know what's happening. I can look at everything and be like, you know, here's this thing, here's that thing. But no matter how much I try and explain it to my audience, I will always read these comments where it's like someone says, so this is all we get for the next big update of Minecraft. And it's like, I did sort of say that this isn't that, but you know, like I'll always read the message where it feels like I tried to communicate this answer to you, but it didn't get across. So I don't know if that's my fault or if it's just something about what Mojang are trying to do that isn't working. Mott, triple OG, thank you for subscribing. And Simplex Designs coming in with the Prime. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Very much appreciated. Hey X, Season 10 needs a space in between. Bit late for that, bit late for that. We're pretty deep into the season and using the logo by now, right? So yeah, next Minecraft Live, I'm pretty sure will announce a big update. That I think we can reasonably expect. This is warped hyperfeed, by the way. I need to double check the thing. I've still got it open. I think we might be able to use other blocks as well as that. But let's first of all get through more of this blackstone. I kind of want to get all of the blackstone done in one go. Hey, Luna Cupcake, 6 months of support. Coming in with a message. Very busy day, but I wanted to just come to share this. Hope you're doing well, Xisuma. Can't wait to hear your views on the announcement yesterday when I get a chance to catch up. Keep being you, keep being amazing. Always love the content. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I'll probably do it for a video later on in the week. I've just got a very busy few days ahead of me with like several different things that need doing. And so I'm looking ahead and I'm like, yeah, I'm not sure when I'll get around to this, but I feel like sharing some thoughts would be a good idea. I don't think they're planning one big update at all, says Burt Potato. Well, based on what they've said, I think it's like they'll still do big updates, but they're going to do smaller game drops in between. But here's the thing, like there's so much like messaging. Sometimes you don't need to communicate that much, you just need to show. And maybe one of the problems is just they're trying to spell it out to us all the time, and then it gives us the opportunity to interpret it differently. For me, I thought what was shown yesterday was great, and then given a little time to think about it more, it does feel a little bit like maybe there could have been a couple more things in there, but I think that's the point. It's a small game drop. It's not supposed to be a big deal. So I think the scale and scope of it is really good. It's allowed them to sort of hyper focus in on the one feature, right? But I did pick up on some really good feedback. I thought that you need more control over the heart. I think there needs to be a way for the player to choose when they want to activate it. So the whole day-night thing can work in this biome, but then you need to be able to activate it whenever you want. So maybe like leaf blocks, once you've placed it down, there's a different status for it. Like you have a generated one that came in with the world, or you have one placed by the player, and when it's placed by the player, it can activate at any time. I think that would be a good way to get that to work. Small feature introductions are easier to manage and modify, says Burt Potato. Yeah, it would seem so, wouldn't it? There are, of course, advantages to doing things at different scale. Where are we at here? I think I'm going to go sleep in the beds. Let's try and make our way towards that, wherever it is. It needs logs top and bottom, says DRC. Yeah, and I believe that's the way they generate in the forest, right? So the problem is that it only works during the daytime, which is what they've said. They even showed them placing one down themselves and showing you that it would only work in the daytime. So I think we can take that as is. That, I think, is an important thing to address. Let the player use this all times a day, because its application for mischief and minigames is kind of drastically reduced if you're saying it has to be nighttime, which I'm assuming a lot of players skip, right? Especially if you play in multiplayer communities, like lots of nights get scoops. Just bashed the microphone. That was very smart of me. Slurpy, slurpy, slurpy. I think I want to get some of that grey terracotta or whatever it is we've seen. Oh, and I wanted to check out the hyperthy, right? So I thought it was black, but maybe let's grab those two. And let's go check up on the map thing. So the hyperthy can be stripped or that type, and I think the problem is I didn't actually get hyperthy, so I'm gonna run out of that stuff, which is weird because I could have got a lot of it incredibly easily. How much of it do I need in total? I've seen a lot of it about. Yeah, 3 stacks? I don't know what happened there. Something went wrong with the calculations. I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording. And then we're going to go bounce and grab that right now. And I'm going to get some more food. Wow, we're like in line with B-Dubs' space. Does B-Dubs have a portal? I have this weird feeling that B-Dubs don't have a portal for some reason. Anyone know what X's art submission deadline is? I couldn't find it on Doc or the Reddit. Well, it's pinned on Reddit. It's also in the description box of the video. So, yeah, those places. I don't know if B-Dubs has a portal or not, but Scar does. Although Scar's is actually way over here. Oh, might as well just fly to Loglands. Might as well just fly to Loglands. Oh, is that tree spoilers? I wasn't sure if I'd seen that before. Yeah, you got until midnight today for the art submissions, my dude. Grab 4 stacks of that then. Probably need something else from here, but maybe we'll take our next trip when we're done. Alright, so other things I saw about the mob were, let's say, complaints that there wasn't reasons to go to the biome, there wasn't an item to farm. I actually think it's maybe a good idea to not do that with everything all the time, because there's so many things in this game that you could overlap with, right? And maybe you don't need to do that each and every time. I was wondering what was going on there. It's sort of like, wasn't loading up. Let's have a sip of the tea before we resume. I'm going to read chat for a minute, actually. Let's take a minute just to read a little bit more of chat. So I've seen a lot of things like it should have a structure, there should be an item, there should be a reason to come back. And I think, well, maybe not. Like, maybe let's just focus in on the one thing that really works, which is this interesting mob. And perhaps not make it about having to have a reason to go there all the time. It is a good thing in a game to be like, why would you want to do this? Because you'll get this thing, right? But sometimes you could just do it for the fun of it, right? So when I saw people saying there should be structures and stuff, I kind of thought, oh, maybe, maybe not. But I do think there'll be a room for a couple of things. Like I saw someone suggesting that the sniffer if you put it there, should be able to sniff up particular types of seeds or something. I thought that was a good one because the sniffer's being kind of underserviced, it feels like. Honestly, the new mob looks just amazing. I do not mind it having a real purpose for it, says Stan. It does look amazing. It reminded me of some of the concept art that we saw for the Warden. I think maybe some like it's also horror themed, so it could have a little bit of a link to that. But yeah, I think not everything has to be big and grand and cover a large scope of things in the game. It can be a little more focused, and that's what they've done. But I still think there's room for maybe one or two more things, and I imagine in the snapshot phase they might add some simple stuff or tweak a few things. Bert says, I'd like to see some structural remnants in the gardens that are buildings that are dilapidated. Yeah, maybe some small things, like, you know when you go to the giant taiga biome, there's like these blocks of mossy cobble on the ground? Maybe bits like that, like half-grown trees or something that maybe tells the story of the mob that appears there a little more. As for the dying wood thing, so... Right, let's unpause the recording. The thing with the wood is that I think it's going to potentially replace using stuff like white concrete or quartz, because the stripped wood kind of looks like a really like accessible white color that's very plain white. That kind of caught my eye about it. Like, you might introduce blocks in this game that then go ahead and replace the use of other blocks. Not sure if that's a good or a bad thing, just like an observation more than anything. As for dyeing them, it's a popular idea. It would give us those dyed colors for slabs and stairs. But how are they going to implement it? Because you're talking about adding 17 wood sets now if you add 16 dyes to the existing wood set. I like the idea that you can only dye the wood by right-clicking on it with a dye, but then that's going to inflate the need for dyes themselves. So, it happens. Wings! Just, It really annoys me, some of that stuff. It just, they need fixing. They need to fix these things. Anyway. I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's just going to be so many more blocks added to the game. And if they did it so you have to right-click on it with a dye, it's a cool idea, but then everyone's going to massively need way more dyes. And, like, because what you could do is make one dye for eight blocks of wood or something. But then you've got to add all of those blocks to the inventory. If you did it the other way around, it's then 1 for 1 and quite pricey. It would be a lot of blocks, so more work, more testing, says Burt Potato. I don't think so for a wood set, because they all just use the same block types, right? Like fence gates all work the same. It's not, maybe things like pressure plates are slightly different on occasion, but they're all the same thing. So you're mostly just adding one extra of something that's already in the game. Durability on dyes. Haven't thought of it before. Yeah, possibly, but then I don't know. You go from having a stack to having one because it's got to have a dye. A little damage value on it, right? Like, damage values do not work in stacked items. They're for individual items. So, not saying it's impossible, just it starts to get a little messy. Which is a common problem with a lot of Minecraft stuff, is just... Because we're tied to this one block at a time way of building and playing the game, a lot of the solutions are tied to that. Like, I saw them in the presentation talking about the bundle, and their whole process was just not about rethinking that core system that underpins it all. So everything is, like, attached to that one idea. Where I've been playing Satisfactory lately, I've been loving this idea of, like, imagine that materials, first of all, you know, like blackstone. Imagine that every type of blackstone, not gilded, bricks, chiseled bricks. I mean, there might be a few exceptions here because we have like resource processing in this game. But imagine they all fall under one block, and it's when you place it that you change what type it is. You have a selector, you know, hey, I want to place stairs now, or slabs, or I want the chiseled variant, or, you know, maybe it's basalt and I want this one or that one. Now, this is obviously different to how Minecraft operates, but with that, you can have so many more blocks represented just by a single stack. And then, like, imagine some of those satisfactory tools like the Zoop, right? So, like, you see a hologram impression of what you're going to place where you aim, and you can aim further into the distance. By the way, when I say hologram, don't think like big bright preview of a block. Think a little bit more low tech, a little bit more Minecrafty. I've noticed sometimes in this game, like, the visuals that mods add with like overlays like this and the colors here, they're really hacky to display information. I think if you want to do proper design for a game, you want to make it fit in. So imagine something that's like way more subtle and just feels more Minecrafty. So you go ahead and you aim into the distance and like you click, but then you can drag, and when you drag, all of a sudden your stairs, they like turn into a big long line of stairs. You could be building a roof. Rather than run one block at a time, you could be building a roof 12 blocks in a go. You know, you can build bigger and faster. You can do less inventory management whilst trying to create the thing that's in your imagination in front of you. What would you expect to happen to the modified blocks when you mine them again? Well, you just get back this, right? Now, everyone's going to talk about slabs and stairs not being equal to a full block. This is because of the game's crafting system. We have the one block at a time building approach. Then we have the crafting, the furnaces for manipulating one block into another. Honestly, it's an amazing system. It's made Minecraft fun. For so many years, it's made it unique and wonderful. But personally, I might be speaking as someone who's just played the game for too long. You play other games that build on top of the old games, right? It's the same in so many genres. You know, real-time strategy games. If you ever play Command and Conquer, they don't make them like that anymore because there's all this new ideas and new ways of doing things. I feel like other games that have similar elements to Minecraft have evolved past it, and Minecraft is still going on those old principles, right? Still attached to this original idea, and it doesn't have to be. I don't think it has to be attached to all of this. It could evolve. If it doesn't, something might come along at some point that has the Minecraft essence, because there's something really in between the lines about this game. No matter how many blocky clones turn up, no one quite captures what this game has got. But at some point, someone might, and they wouldn't be recreating the experience the same way. I'm sure they would be evolving it. And like, Minecraft could potentially evolve itself if they were brave enough to make some of these big design decisions, right? And I think getting away from the one block at a time, as great as it is, could be a good thing. And then also, I think you've got to get away from the whole block processing thing too. And as much as both of these are charming, they really are, they're great, they're wonderful, they're ideas that are now 15 years old. Right? So we've had 15 years of playing this game at this pace, and people want to do more, bigger, bolder, and faster. And that, how do you help them with that? Well, the inventory, 15 years of it being this big, it's showing its age. I discovered a new voxel game in development called Layer of the Land, which honestly looks fantastic and could genuinely become Minecraft 2 if the devs keep going with the same quality. It has some super innovative ways of building. Hey, I'll check that out. Layer of the Land, right? Let me open my phone and immediately get distracted by a bunch of messages. Oh no, I'm not going to look at those. There they are. Did you say it was Layer of the Land 2? No, why did you said Minecraft 2. I'll check it out because I'm really quite interested in building different from building in Minecraft after playing Satisfactory. So yeah, we have this issue of like, well, if we're going to treat like Blackstone like it's one resource, that's kind of powerful because now slabs, stairs, walls, chiseled Blackstone, polished Blackstone, all of this stuff like falls into one block. You place it, you break it, you get it back. Okay, you put down a slab. The reason that you get more slabs out of a block is because of crafting. Unfortunately, you're just going to have to get past that and maybe say, for the sake of making this work, like one slab is one block. Which doesn't seem quite right, but then when you think about the upsides, less inventory management on a large scale. All that time you spend fussing around with the inventory, you'd probably get it back if you just spent a little bit more time getting a few extra blocks of the build you're going to do. Now, some of the downsides to this is doing things like getting basalt and making a basalt generator for different types, or having ones that generate differently. Like, you do kind of strip out some of those elements if you decided, well, we're just going to put all three of them together. Or maybe having certain block types that you go out into the world to gather that are a bit more unique, but now you've lumped them in with another bunch. It's a balancing act. How much of that do you want? How much do you not? So that's some downside to it, because we could end up taking away some of the fun of going out there and building different types of generators like cobble and stone. Generators, you might condense some parts of the game, but this also gets weighed off against the fact that you're always expanding the game and creating more activities to do, so it can be balanced out, I think. You could probably write off stairs as one block, but I don't see why you can't use half the materials for slabs. For the simple reason that we're used to seeing a stack as 64. We could up it to 100, 99, 200, 1,000. You know, it's an arbitrary number, but people are very attached to it. So let's say we're not going to change it. It's going to stay as 64. How do you represent 64 and a half, right? We could, again, do away with having stacks altogether. You could just have a meter in your inventory telling you how much Blackstone you've accumulated. It could be the same for dyes, right? Like, you could color blocks and you just have a magical amount of dyes that you've absorbed from the world, and it lets you dye this many of them, and then you can start to count incremental amounts and whatnot. But it's I think at that point you start to go a little too far away from how the game works. So for that reason, I think you have to treat a slab like a whole block, which isn't great. Some people might think it's illogical, but you know, you do it so that it sort of fits in with everything else around it. Being new to the game, I find building anything good in survival daunting. It's difficult, and I'm incredibly impressed by some of the hermits that come on here and just build straight up, like, with their mind's eye. You know, it's obviously like a skill. So saying I don't know how they do it, well, it's like they probably didn't just accidentally do it one day. It's like a skill, like I said. But I don't have the patience to work on that skill. I'm always trying to get something done, and ironically, this season I was going to try and use less like Malika, and I think I've used it more than ever. But at the same time, I have done like more building and had more fun with that aspect of the game. But somehow I've just ended up using like Malika over and over again. I'm gonna try and change that a bit, but when I try and build in survival, I do not have a vision of anything really. It's very blank up there. It's very difficult for me to see what to do. So it's like kind of hard to get going, especially when you've got like an audience and a sort of, I don't know, like a standard almost that you've held yourself to. Like, of course I can come on here and build a cobblestone hut, but who wants to see X build cobblestone huts, right? Like, obviously I can do a bit more than that on the fly, but it's going to be, you're going to take a real big step back in terms of where you've been pushing yourself once you just try and do it all in survival straight away. This I would say is more of like an individual player problem than a game problem, though. Man, if I just think back a little bit, like, I don't think I've ever really been one to do stuff organically in survival. As long as I can remember, I started out in this game tinkering around in creative worlds, redstoning. Like, although I played survival and had survival builds, they were always just, you know, big clunky boxes. I never really was able to do anything that looked that interesting. And what would help me build stuff that looked interesting is I'd always be going to creative mode to try things. And then once I found what I felt worked, I would then come and do it in survival. So in the past on Hermitcraft, I always did that. And then these tools, these mods came along to kind of like make that process easier. And when making that transition, I remember saying, you know, when we'd talk about it as a group or whatever, like, I'm already doing this. I've like got 2 worlds open. I used to have 2 Minecrafts open, and one was the build that I'd already done, and the other one was me doing it in survival. And I would just be rotating the camera around the other build and like doing it block for block. So it just felt like completely normal to then have the instructions of where to put these blocks in front of you in the game. Soundwave1818, thank you so much for the Prime. Appreciate it. 4 months right there. Very kind of you. I hope you're enjoying the stream. It doesn't matter how long you play, as long as you enjoy what you're doing. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's another reason why I find it hard to get away from that process, is because it works for me really well. I like, you know, goofing around in creative and then coming up with something cool and bringing it over to Hermitcraft. That's been my process for a long time. And it's very hard to get away from doing that, I gotta say. Very hard to get away from it. In my opinion, Mojang should focus on the things that players actively have to break the game to do. For instance, vanilla alternative for TNT duping would be useful in my opinion. Yeah, I think they should add like a movable explosion block, like a dispenser, but you have to feed it gunpowder. I think something like that would be a cool compromise. Ender Void Wolf, thank you for 30 months coming in with the Prime. Appreciate it, my dude. Thank you so much for the support as always, peeps. It will forever be appreciated. Hermitcraft is an amazing catalyst for all members to broaden their skill set over time. Almost like you can't help but learn from the others. Absolutely, yeah, absolutely 100%. That's why playing in groups is so much fun. To bounce off of one another and learn. Renewable sand could potentially be a good thing. I find that debate kind of interesting because, you know, one of the early charms of the game was that you had to go places to get stuff. There was a lot more of like traversing to a place, dealing with the environment to get that block that you wanted. Then over time, the whole like, and here's a way to farm it, kind of won out. And sand has just been left behind. It's like, sand is still one of those things you have to go destroy a biome for. There used to be a lot more of that. I remember strongholds, you used to rip them apart to get the mossy stone bricks. But then, when that was like new and fresh, that was kind of like the charm of the game. That was what felt like the innovative new thing. This game's weird. You have to, you know, you have to actually go to this place to go get that thing you want to build with. It's hard to describe because you have to go back 15 years and remember what else was available. Minecraft was very different, fresh, original, right? Like it introduced so many things that made it brilliant. Like the whole the way the world is generated was like really quite innovative and new. People just sort of forget that. It becomes commonplace to now fire up a game that generates landscapes and worlds for you to explore, you know, based on a seed. That's just normal now, but before Minecraft, there wasn't a lot of that. At least not in 3D. But that's still so, like with the Guardian blocks and Prismarine, etc. Yeah, you definitely have to like go there and do something there to farm that block. You either build a farm or you rip it apart. So I guess it would be true of sand. You'd either build a farm or rip it apart. But I think the point I was trying to make is that like, should that always be the philosophy? And I think their idea is yes, moving forward. It's just interesting that once wasn't the philosophy, and it was actually like kind of interesting. I remember when you'd spend time just like, right, I want to get this block, so I'm going to spend a couple of hours going over here and dealing with that terrain and the challenges that are there. Sometimes you'd have to plan how you're going to bring your blocks back. Like, I remember creating minecart lanes or rails and then putting all the resources in chests, or sometimes doing coordinated trips where you would, like, empty your inventory, then go grab a load of blocks, travel over here, drop them off, then go back again, right? And, like, that would be mad today. Like, you got your shulker boxes. Why would you do that? Can you please give us a top-down view of the progress? Sure. It's kind of hard to tell until we do this. Oh, it's actually looking kind of interesting like that. It's looking kind of interesting. Linked minecarts would be awesome. They would, but would they get used a lot? So one of the problems is the balancing of the game. Like the Elytra, for example, undermined a lot of other types of travel. We actually, in this stream, went to use the Nether and then just realized we were close to everything and kept flying. So I think in some ways they've made some unbalanced decisions over time that kind of, yeah, go against this ability to have a whole bunch of options that are kind of similar to one another. Hey, anyway, we were supposed to be talking about the new update. So I think last time we were talking about it, I was saying that all of this, like, it should have an item, it should have a thing to go do at the biome. I actually don't think it needs any of that. I think it's really good for it just to kind of, like, hone in on the one thing it is. I will say, though, right, if you go there, you encounter these things, you can run away, you can throw an ender pearl, you can use your wings and get out of there. So it's really like you, the player, are choosing to interact with this thing. So then, once you have the knowledge that you're, like, trying to get the heart out of the tree, like, why are you doing that? Is it fun? Is it a good laugh? And I kind of wondered, like, once you've done the challenge a couple of times, is it just going to be some sort of thing in the game that you see? Like, you explore, you find one of them, you fight one, you pick up a heart, and then you're like, oh, that was fun. Like, I think asking what is the motivation to do it is interesting because, like, imagine, I'm going to throw out an idea I haven't thought about a lot, but it's just sort of to emphasize a point. Like, imagine if going there cursed you with something like mining fatigue, which doesn't work because you have to mine the heart of the tree, right? But, like, what if encountering it gave you a problem you had to solve, right? You got cursed and the curse won't go away until you get rid of that tree out of the heart. People will probably start to say that's annoying or whatever, but what I'm getting at is, once you know what it's about, why are you going there? A lot of the times, the answer is to put in an item, right, to motivate the player or some sort of reward. I think it'd be a good opportunity to try and circumvent that and maybe do something a little bit more obscure. Right, let's not think about usefulness and farming, but maybe something slightly different that it could be used for. Something out of the ordinary. Because I can imagine myself encountering it, you know, for the first time. You want to go check it out, have some fun, kill a few. You get the feel for it, you've done that activity, and then it might just become something that you don't really think about. And then you see a pale garden because you're traveling somewhere and you're just like, oh, avoid that because I'm doing something else at the moment, right? So I do think go there to enjoy the landscape. Yeah, you could build a base there. I think that might be an interesting one. Like, the whole biome is unique is a good selling point. By the way, creepers and stuff spawn in the forest, so it's not a no hostile mob area. If they did that, it would create another place that you could go to in the overworld where you could have, like, safe building. I'm not saying that's what they should do, just a thought. I love the hue of the shift on the biome. No more Halloween swamp builds. Yeah, the grayscale thing is cool. Some vampire mansion or graveyard to fit the desaturated feel of the biome. I would say no to structures. I really think they homed in very well on one thing, which is, like, the mob, its relationship to the tree, and the biome serves the purpose. I think, like, you may end up just cluttering it if you just start to try and throw more stuff on it. Like, not everything has to be a big game changer with something crazy exciting. Like, I think they've had a simple concept, focused on it pretty well, and executed it well. Maybe just needs a few more tweaks and stuff. You meant as a player build? Oh yeah, of course. If you want to go there and build your own vampire mansion and graveyard, that's what Minecraft's about, and it's a great location for it, no doubt. No doubt. Use the creaking heart as a new block to make a golem? Yeah, maybe. I think it'd be nice to like find something that avoids the usual go here, do this, and get that. Like, just trying to think of something that isn't quite like other stuff in the game. Like, I like the idea of you getting a curse, but like once you know you get cursed and therefore you have to deal and finish, you know, getting a heart, right? Let's say you're cursed until you get a heart in your inventory. Then it's great, like, to encounter it and not to then have to be like, okay, what am I trying to say here? It's great for, like, you encounter it, okay, now I've got to deal with the situation, and you finish the activity and it's fun. But then you might also learn just to completely avoid it again, because you're like, oh, I don't want to get cursed again. So, you know how like pillagers used to give you that potion effect, and then you'd have to deal with it? Like, you'd either go get a bucket of milk, which is like the annoying side, or you got all you wanted and then you went and did a raid. Maybe it's something that could lead on to something else. But yeah, chat, your suggestions. Can you think outside of the box and imagine something that's not quite like what you've seen before? Breadloaf, you want to use the activated heart as a decor block. That texture is really interesting. It is a really cool texture. Oh, I've got an itchy hair. Itchy head. If the Pale Garden is a derivative of the Dark Oak Forest, I wouldn't mind they add a new mushroom variation too. No idea what that would look like too. So yeah, they could probably add that. A totem of healing? I posted it before, but what if there was a quest to heal the heart? Then you could use the heart to improve the forest in some way. It's interesting. My initial imagination is that you like undesaturate, you like resaturate the forest or something, but I think that would defeat the point of having it desaturated, really. It's hard to say because so much of Minecraft is so simplistic. Like, if you imagine like it was more RPG and you had stats and skills and abilities, like you could use these things to just be like, you know, you got to use it to like level up this particular stat or whatever. You can very directly tie it to something beneficial, but Minecraft doesn't work like that. It's very sandboxy. There is the first challenge presented in Minecraft that has no reward at all. If you want to loot the sapling blocks, etc., you go there during the day. Yeah, you will do that. You will visit the place. Okay, and then have to avoid the night. If the heart gave curses, it would be interesting if the curse, it could curse the mobs standing on it by breaking their AI. Maybe. Like, what if each tree gave you like a different debuff? One could give you poison. That'd be pretty mad. And I think you go into a biome and you get overwhelmed because there's so many trees and hearts. But yeah, it just feels to me like it just needs like one or two tiny little extra things about it, and then it's pretty much there. Yeah, I don't think crafting it into a Totem of Undying would... Like, that's the sort of thing I think they should avoid, is the go here, farm that, and get other useful thing. Phantoms shouldn't be able to spawn in that biome. Just decided. Every new biome that gets added to the game, phantoms are not allowed to spawn in them. That I would welcome. Just because phantoms. 10 out of 10 update the year if that happened. Wouldn't it be? Feels like all new concepts fits better as mods or data packs, so would prefer game rules to be sandbox too. Like it is more data driven nowadays. I don't know, like that would take away from the fun of actually updating the game and continuing to update if it all just became optional. What if the Glade cursed you with the inability to sleep until you defeated it? Now that's a nice idea, because you would definitely want that ability, but it wouldn't be completely hindering. However, if you like wandered away, you get in a bed and it kicks you out and it's like, you know, the heart has still cursed you or something. That could be quite interesting. I imagine it might get annoying if you couldn't go back and figure out. Like, I think it would have to not be a specific heart, but be any heart, right? Like maybe holding the block in your inventory just gets rid of the curse. So once you leave the area and you've got a heart in your inventory, you're good. But if you go back and a heart decides to curse you, then you can't sleep until you put a heart in your inventory. So if you leave the area without one, you got to get one. And you know, you can see how that can be fun to kind of encounter and deal with, but then you can also easily create solutions for it, like leaving a block in your base, or you play on a server, someone else hands you a block so you're no longer cursed. Like, if you don't want to partake in it, it's not too difficult to get around it. I like that. I like that. It's not like crazy. It's not like here's some big reward, but it's like a nice detail, I think. I just checked with Google. Minecraft has had over 1 billion downloads. It's going to be hard to make the game cater for everyone. Oh yeah, of course. Like everyone, like I read my comments and you see so many different opinions. You can literally read like Mojang is lazy next to, oh, they've done a really good job with this one. On the note of Mojang is lazy, it sounded to me like what they did for this game drop was hand it over to a team. And it feels like maybe what they're going to start doing is have individual teams work on like smaller chunks of the game, because I think in the past it was like one team kind of handling a lot of stuff, like doing the whole update process together, whereas this time it's like, let's get this team, let's get them to add a biome with a mob in it, and like, hey, you guys focus on that. That's literally just based on the fact that they talked about, you know, oh, this team worked on this update. So I could be interpreting it entirely wrong. It's all possible here. I'd really like to have another transport method for flying, like a mob that you can ride to fly. Maybe. I think, oh god, we got mobs. Is that rising? That's rising as well. Let's go whiz over here. Oh my god, we are way across the map. Dang. No, 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 no. That's what they sound like. I'd really like to have another transport. Oh wait, I literally just read that message. Yeah, I think like cursing the player to not be able to sleep is a cool one. But did I understand it wrong that there are no longer going to be big summer updates? No, I think they're still doing big summer updates. They're just doing smaller updates in between. I mean, maybe it's not going to be quite as big as in the past, but yeah, one thing's for sure, the communication is like, I don't think it's working too well. But the problem with reading comments is the vocal minority. Like, if you don't understand, are you like way more likely to comment? So you go to a comment section, let's say you count and you weigh it up and you're like, okay, 20% of people understand it, 80% don't, right? But your comments is like 5% of your overall viewership. Maybe people that understand it are not inclined to comment about it. Sorry, did I say that wrong? People that understand it are not inclined to comment. You can do this with all kinds of statistics, peeps. Like, always think critically when you're presented with statistics. Because statistics are incredibly useful, handy, helpful. They give us insights to the world, but they also can't escape a form of bias. I'm not talking about like a person's intentional bias, but just a naturally emerging bias. You know, like let's say I create some statistics and a chart based off a question I asked you. The wording of the question could influence that as well. You know, I say, do you understand Mojang's update plan for the coming years? And all of my previous communication, I didn't refer to it as an update plan. I just said they're going to do smaller updates, and I didn't say for how long. And then you might be a little bit more inclined to be like, oh, update plan? I don't think I heard about that. I know they're changing things, but what's this about a plan? I'll answer saying, no, I don't understand, whereas actually you might have all the relevant information. So whenever you encounter statistics, keep that kind of thinking in mind, because yeah, statistics can in essence be misleading, but if you like fully understand what they're about, they can also be quite insightful as well. There are three forms of lies: white, black, and statistics. I think the original quote and the better one goes, there are lies, lies, and damn statistics. I mean, it's like an interesting quote, but I think, like a lot of things, having a more detailed description of like what the issue is better, because I feel like that statement paints statistics kind of negatively, and they can be used negatively. Someone can plot things on a chart in a way that can mislead you. One of the things they do, I see it a lot on television, is they'll show you a chart, and if you pay attention to the numbers on the left side of the chart, you'll notice that it starts at, let's say, the number 50, and then the top of the chart is 100, and they're showing you this like big difference between these two different numbers in the middle of the chart, right? But if it had started at 0 instead of 50, then there's much more to show you, and then the difference between the two numbers, they don't look so big all of a sudden, right? So let's imagine that the difference is 10 between 70 and 80%. We got two things here. One is 70%, one is 80. Now, if I show you that on 0 to 100, you could look at it and probably eyeball it. Oh, it's about 10% difference. Whereas if you're shown it and I show you 60 to 100, all of a sudden it looks like the difference between these two numbers is quite big. So this is how, like, if you don't correctly interpret statistics, they can perhaps mislead you, but also you got to realize that what is the intent behind this, because sometimes it can be used nefariously for, you know, deliberate miscommunication, deliberately skewing the facts to lead you in a particular direction, and sometimes it can be completely harmless or just an accident by someone not fully thinking through how they're presenting the information. So I feel like that lies, lies, and down statistics kind of implies some sort of nefariousness, which I think may not actually be legit or whatever. By the way, Left Hand 3D, thank you so much for using the old Amazon Prime. Appreciate it, my dude. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hope you're enjoying the stream today. Do torches show up on maps? I believe so. I believe they do. I could be mistaken. Sumer, I'm loving the Season 9 map in the marketplace. Are you and Mojang going to do older seasons or continue with newer seasons? Both old and new, I believe. That is the plan. Chimera Dev, thank you ever so much for 23 months. It's been almost 2 years. I'm quite happy on how Minecraft Live felt. I want more drops in this style along the year. It might pull my friends even more to play the game, since they usually only play for a few weeks on big updates. Got ya, got ya. Yeah, not everyone is like a lifetime player, or, you know, put as many hours as some of us crazy Minecrafters do. A lot of people play for a bit and then lose interest. I'm aware of that phenomena. Thank you for 23 months, my dude. And thanks for your help yesterday as well. Appreciate it, my dude. I'm curious, why do you think there should not be a way to farm something from it? Why that philosophy, says Eater the Zeta. I just think that if you create a checklist of things, right? Like, does it have a structure? Is there an item that's useful for the player? Can I get an enchantment from that biome? Can it do this? Can it do that? Like, all your features, all your aspects of the game become a bit homogenous. They become a little more universal. Oh, there's a new biome, and a new building, and a new block, and a new thing for me to get, right? There's some things in this game that just don't share those properties with other things in the game. And for the pale biome just to be a much simpler place with like one unique focus, I think there's no harm in that. So I'm not saying that it shouldn't have these things. It's more so that like we don't have to go into every feature and apply the same old things to it, you know? Like, let's say they told you that they were adding a new structure, right? Like, the next big update is the structures update. There's going to be more structures in the world, right? And then you found out that there was no new loot and no new blocks of it. Like, you'd almost expect that. But why not? Why couldn't they add structures that just build from the existing blocks in the game? So, to me, it's like, it is a good idea to think about those things. You just don't want it to be a bit of a trap where, like, every new thing has to check those boxes. That's the philosophy behind it. It's just, a lot of the times it's really good to point out, hey, you've added this new thing, you know, do this, make this change, and we could farm something from it, and that'd give us a reason to go there. But if you do that over and over again, then all the features start to feel a little bit the same, I guess. So, like, why couldn't this one just be a simple biome with this, you know, hyper focus on this eerie grayscale with the sound design and the unnerving nature of it, right? Then it doesn't have to do all the things the other things do. Like, there doesn't have to be a structure there doesn't have to be some item that you come to farm it, right? Like, it can just be its own thing. X, can you go on about the impact of smaller drops to modded Minecraft, please? I'm very curious. I think, unfortunately, whatever cadence Mojang decide to update their game at, I think the modding community has to accept that. Mojang can, of course, consider them in their decisions, but ultimately, the modding community is modding the game, right? Like, they don't have any right to. Mojang is just kind to them in not creating a legal debacle around it. In fact, they've done a lot to sort of embrace and help the modded community to some extent, but, you know, that can only go so far, really. And I think the modding community has to figure it out for themselves how they want to treat that. Like, I think more frequent updates might mean you see maybe some waves where, like, certain updates get skipped. If all they're going to add is the pale garden stuff, it might be that the modding community decides to skip the next update. Maybe someone makes a mod which pretty much adds in the same stuff, and then all the mod developers don't have to update for so many versions. There'll probably be a little bit more of that. But it takes then the modding community to come up to a consensus on which ones they're going to skip or not, right? I really like the idea of just adding things to the game for no particular reason but for the experience. It's something nice to just add to the ambience of the game and stumble upon rather than having some overarching goal. I agree. I think it'd be nice, though, for completing the activity that you do there to have, like, some sort of reward, which isn't just the usual item or thing that you think you need. I think that could be cool. Because it could potentially just be one of those things that you do once and never touch again, which is always a bit of a shame. Like, if you want Swift Sneak, which I could do with right now, you take a trip to the Deep Dark. That is a good motivation, and as I was saying, not everything needs that, but if it isn't a go there and get this reward motivation, are there other motivations we could be tapping into? Is kind of my question. Go sleep again. Experimental features already created this wave pattern of updates getting skipped because some experimental features made it much more difficult to update to. Oh, right. Is that because it's, like, in the code? So, like, you've got experimental stuff hanging around in the code now that you have to accommodate? That's interesting. I hadn't thought of that before. But like I said earlier, like, you know, Mojang don't have to do anything for the modded community. Like, modding technically, legally speaking, I don't think it's a right. It might be a consumer right to be able to modify something you've already brought. I might be mistaken there. But generally the way modding has been treated before Minecraft is unfavorably. And modding used to be seen as quite an illegal, outside-the-box thing that you could do with your games. And Minecraft was part of a big shift to changing the way that's received. It's the same with people making content like I am right now. I don't know how old you are. I don't know if you were around 15 years ago. But Minecraft changed the game when it comes to doing stuff like modding and making videos out of the game. Before Minecraft, the attitude wasn't there. It was different. Well, devs can not legally prevent people from modifying their game. Yeah, they can't legally prevent it. You definitely can't make money out of modding though, right? Like, you can't sell modified code, I believe. I think that goes right onto some copyright infringement stuff, which is why a lot of modding is homebrew, community oriented, because there isn't like a path there. However, I think for a lot of Minecraft modders, there is actually a way to monetize and whatnot, because Mojang have like an open policy towards this stuff. People get around making money from it though, says J4. Yeah, I think they do that with, you know, Mojang looking the other way, so to speak. Like Mojang, they're not going to come out and create like a proper way for you to use their code and make mods, because then they open up a whole bunch of other issues along with it that they have to take responsibility for. So it all takes place in a grey area. If Mojang wanted to come out and like go after some modders who are like selling mods or making money from it, they would probably easily win that, legally speaking, because of the EU LA. Would they win morally or win over the audience? Probably not, because of how modding is seen. A lot of people get a lot of joy out of it. But I think Mojang is smart. I think they also realize that it's a net positive for their game. And I think a lot of other games have seen that too and embrace modding a lot more. Especially through like Steam. You can play games and, you know, do the modding through the game itself. Factorio has support for mods, for example, right? It's like built into the game now. That's like I don't recall ever seeing built-in support for mods before Minecraft. I mean, maybe there was, but not on a big scale like this is done. Factorio has a fantastic modding API. And that's another thing. So if they've put in a modding API, that is a bigger sign of support, right? By the way, I've been playing Factorio. I played Factorio on my Steam Deck, did some traveling the last few days, right? Now, I thought of all the games I'm going to have on my Steam Deck, Factorio is just going to be a bit bum. And you know what? It wasn't. It was so well implemented, the control scheme. I got to grips with it pretty quickly. And there's actually a few things in it that I think work better than keyboard and mouse. And I really, really liked playing Factorio on the Steam Deck. It was super cool. I spent a lot of time decorating my base, building a few more things, making some plans. I also built like the artillery train and checked that out. And I could do all of this stuff. I could use blueprints and yeah, it was honestly like really good experience playing that game on the Steam Deck. Didn't really play anything else on it, to be fair. I'm quite weird with games. Like, I find it very difficult to just casually play for fun. I always feel like I've got to be doing something. And in Factorio, just like constantly expanding your factory is like problem solving, and I love that. So I love playing puzzle games. And I didn't really have like a lot that I wanted to play on the deck. But then again, I never really play a lot of games anyway, so it was good. Did I launch the rocket? I did not. I've crafted all the stuff. I think you need 3 things to launch a rocket, but I just couldn't remember quite how it was done. So I thought, I won't do it on the deck. I'll get more stuff finished around the base, and then I'll like look it up when I get home, which I'm hoping to do at some point during the next week, but I've got a lot of busy jobs and things that need doing, like finishing this, for example, is a big thing I've got to do with the rest of my time today. Technically I don't, but I really want to just have it done for the end of the episode, so I'll probably go for as long as I can doing this, and then I'll have to do other stuff after. Totally forgot what the original question was now. Launching the rocket, right? Launching the rocket. Yeah, so it turns out the 3 things that I thought you needed to craft it were correct. And I think I know what's involved, but I'm just going to look it up first. Just simplify things a little bit for myself. Although sometimes, you know, doing stuff yourself is kind of like the fun of the game, right? So maybe I shouldn't, but... so yeah, my current plan is to launch the rocket, and then I think... successful launches give you the white science, and they also give you fish, which like unlocks some other stuff, which is a bit of a joke, I believe. So I'll probably launch the rocket, check out the stuff that the fish gives you, and then I'll work towards scaling up my science research. I'm going to try and build a big factory that can like do a lot of science and focus around like how fast can I get this thing to do science. And I want to do that with a train network that focuses on, rather than having belts everywhere, I want to have train stations sort of pick up, like, I don't know, like you have green circuits at place A, and then you need green circuits, so I'm going to make this up because I can't quite remember, but I think it's like more copper and iron or something. Plastic. I think you need green circuits and plastics to make red circuits. So then I'm going to have a plastic factory somewhere, and the train is going to bring plastic to the red circuit, and then there will be a green circuit factory somewhere that brings trains of goods to the red one. But the green one also needs copper and iron, so there'll be copper and iron sites that bring these things over, and I'm going to try and design it in a way where I can scale up and do this stuff kind of fast and big, and then have the trains dynamically kind of know where they need to go. So I've got to look into circuit logic a little bit. My hope though is that I can just look at what I need externally, like, oh, I need more plastic, so I go and create a plastic site, and then I put a train on it, and it starts delivering to the places that use plastic. So, and then the other thing is that at each of these places, we're going to have robots do all of the moving of items. Like, no belts is my other idea. Oh, so sort of a city block design. I always use it, says Maddie. I actually wasn't thinking of city block, but I do understand that a block layout will allow you to have that sort of form factor where everything's on the same scale, so you can just tile it, or yeah, I don't know. I kind of hadn't thought of like putting these ideas into a block. It was more like using the train to connect everything together. So I don't know if I'll do that or not actually, but we'll see. Oh, and another thing I did was I created a train depot area where all the stations are tiled and they have the same name. So if one is full, another train goes into the next one, which was so cool to implement. That was a really fun thing to do. Left for Breads. I'm sure I read your username before. Thank you so much for the prime, my dude. Hope you're doing well. I'm pretty sure I got some black terracotta. Thank you so much for subscribing, my dude. Appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for your support as always, peeps. Hope you're enjoying me waffle. Hasn't been that interactive. Let's change that. Chat, I'll turn it over to you now. In fact, I'm gonna sit down for a little bit. I'm gonna drink some water. I'm gonna take some of your questions. What am I building? I just got here. Great question. This. Season 10 of Hermitcraft. Season 10 the server formerly known as Season 9. Really looking forward to the new train stuff in Factorio 2.0. Say what? They're getting a big update that make it much easier. Oh my god. I tell you what, I will probably not start that until the new update. The new update will be here in October. I've got a busy beginning half of October, so it makes sense to wait before I get into that. Hermitcraft! That's me trying to do the B-dubs thing. Hermitcraft. I should really bring my bed with me now. I should probably bring all of these shulker boxes. Like, why am I leaving a little platform over here? Doesn't make any sense. If there is a new golem in the game, what would it do? I had a thought in my mind a moment ago that I was going to share, but then I got kind of distracted. So in Factorio, you have logistics robots. Do you know what I want to see? I would love a Factorio style inventory and a Satisfactory style building system for this game. So imagine you've got like another book with logistics and you tell the... Oh my god, I do not want to accidentally leave a shulker box off the edge. So I've got full inventory, which is stressing me out, man. Stressing me out. Stupid computer game. What am I trying to say? What am I trying to say? Well, I can't go there. Sinzerk, thank you for 2 months, by the way. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Not ignoring you, just getting distracted. So yeah, imagine a logistics screen where you request Blackstone from your storage system and then an allay brings it to you. Because that's kind of like what allays were going to help us with, like picking up items and stuff. But then it was implemented in a very Minecrafty way, which just means it's kind of slow and clunky. And although they're useful and you can put them into farms and stuff, they don't really change the game that drastically. Which is probably, if you're a Minecraft purist, the way to do it. They did that with crafting, automatic crafting. I think they did automatic crafting in the best way possible for this game. So, what golem would I like? I would like a golem that, you know, you just tell it you want Blackstone and it wanders over to your chest and then brings you back a stack. That's what I want. You wonder if Tango will be using the creaking in Decked Out 3. I imagine so. I imagine so. I immediately wanted to recreate the minigame that they showed on Hermitcraft. I was like... Dude, this like go get 7 blocks thing, pretty cool. Although, I wonder if the sapling means it's easy to like recreate the arena after you're done playing it. That'd be kind of cool. Because that wouldn't be too bad a way to reset it, would it? Not too bad of a way at all. I should probably be putting the hyperthay down as well. And I should have a little bit more of that blue wall. Because these are all the blocks that seem to be like right next to the Blackstone. Blue wall, blue wall, blue wall, blue wall, blue wall, blue wall. Okay. Okay, we got it, we got it. Right. What's the next question, chat? What's the next question? Ads are done. That's a statement, not a question. I couldn't have been more specific. My specificity was through the roof. It was through the roof, peeps. I couldn't have been more specific. X, have you seen any Studio Ghibli films or any thoughts on them? Yeah, I tried to watch one some time ago, but I didn't really enjoy it. Do you find crazy people are so negative about a 15-year-old game still getting updates? Very few games are still get updates on Minecraft. Exactly. Exactly. Like, I don't understand how people get angry about this game sometimes. What genre / movie TV show do you like, and what are your faves from those genres? I like dramas. My favorite TV shows: The Wire, Breaking Bad, stuff like that. I also don't like listing stuff because I always feel like I'm going to forget something really obvious, and then later on as I'm going to sleep, I'll be like, oh, you forgot to say Schematic is the best hip hop record ever on that stream that you did. Oh, I can't sleep now. That's how my brain works, Pete. Also, Schematic is possibly the best hip hop record ever. And I also love his second one. It was written. It's amazing. Such a good record. You know, things like that. Who's your favorite rap? List your 5 favorite rappers. If I forget one of them, I'm going to have sweats at night. It's going to keep me up. Like you say movies, immediately I'm like, I could say 1 or 2, but then I'll forget the others. Like, I love Forrest Gump, for example. I mean, that's like one of the top rated movies. Shawshank Redemption, all of that. Top international movie database list movies. Most of those are like my cup of tea. I'm a product of the 90s, you know? So I love my 90s movies, unsurprisingly. Is that blue? That's purple. Felt kind of purpley. Sometimes people find it hard to separate knee-jerk emotional reactions from genuine criticism. Yeah, they definitely do. That is a good way of putting it. Interstellar, yeah, I love that one. Gremlins, not really. That's like probably a bit of a nostalgia movie. I have a memory of seeing part of that as a kid and being like scared by it, but then wasn't there like this fluffy cute gremlin as well, and it was like confusing. So I don't know if I should like this or not. Poor little Xisuma. Yeah, I do love my movies. Looking forward to the new Joker one. It'll be an interesting watch. You know, they did such a great one. Such a great story with the last one. Incredible acting. I hope it doesn't feel like, I don't know, doesn't feel off or anything. It can be really hard to follow up such a good movie, right? I'm just hoping it can maybe live up to a little bit of what came before it. Because that's a really amazing movie, really powerful. It's not getting great reviews. Ah, don't tell me that. Hey, my hopes weren't too high, but I'd seen the trailers and I thought, yeah, it could maybe go in a good direction. We'll have to wait and see. See, I'm not the sort of person that just, I don't know, loves anything to do with the Joker and would be great with it. I'm probably going to fall into that more critical camp. Mark Zero wants to know how long my hair is. I've always had it short. I never could grow it long, although I did like the long metal head thing. But most of the time it's like dead short, like bald short. Just prefer it that way. Easier to deal with. What are my thoughts on the Minecraft movie trailer? I'll say, like, based on what we saw yesterday, I do feel like they've, you know, Jack Black clearly loves the game. I think that was known before he was involved in the movie. It just feels like one of those things where I don't think they're going to pull out a win. Like, I don't think there's going to be universal acclaim. I don't think this movie is going to be anything big. It just doesn't feel like Minecraft will go, like, fit that. Like the source material, like, kind of denies, no matter like who you got involved, you get the best people in the game involved, and I can't help but feel this won't make a good movie. But you know, maybe it'll get a few good laughs. I'm just hoping it isn't a train wreck, right? And my expectations are definitely not high. Now, I only had 2 stacks of blue wool, so yeah, when it comes to getting the rest of these resources, it's going to be interesting. I think I'm going to have to recalculate everything after I place these blocks. because that whole having it stretched out thing, I think, hurt us. You know what it might have done? It might have meant that when the blocks got stretched out, that there's still only one blue wall, but there's an extra black stone, as opposed to just everything being doubled. So the amount of resources I need might be, unfortunately, quite obscured by that incident, but we'll do what we can, and then I'll have to reassess. Luckily, it's a Minecraft movie, not the Minecraft movie. I don't know what the difference is, but are you thinking sequels and stuff? Do you think Captain Sparkles could have made a good Steve? He has the muscles for it. Using people from the Minecraft community would have been very interesting. However, you've got to remember, these are people that don't have acting experience that I know of. And I imagine just taking... You know, I don't think acting is that easy, right? Like, I don't think you could just train Captain Sparkles for a year and then, you know, it'll be any good. But I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe you can just train someone for a year and turns out you can throw them into that kind of role. It strikes me as something that, you know, acting takes like many years to become great at it. But, the idea that Mace shared with me yesterday that I really liked was Element Animation doing a movie. Their animations are so good, and I sort of thought, yeah, you could scale that up to a movie length, and that would have been such a traditional Minecraft way to do it, to involve, you know, people from the community. But you know, our corporate overlords over at Microsoft, they have change that spirit of the community, for sure. I actually thought it was really interesting that they gave like a big shout out to the first ever official Minecraft trailer, which again, totally fan made. I was like, huh. Don't get a lot of that acknowledgement anymore these days. I loved it when Hat Films used to make the Minecraft trailers. Just a bunch of guys from the community who are talented and not just like, hey, you guys are cool, why don't you make this? You know? It was good stuff. Good memories. Making a feature-length animation shows are a lot of work for people like Element Animation, says Yisat. Oh yeah, of course it is, but if you're making a movie and you've got a company like Microsoft behind you, I'm sure they can help them scale and do that. Maybe, you know, maybe they asked Element Animation and they were like, nah, we're good. Who knows? But they just, their animations, the sound acting, the voice acting, they get the vibe of Minecraft, I think, really well. They're a part of the Minecraft culture, so to speak. They've already said they're spending tons of time working on the trailers for Minecraft Live and such. Yeah, see, the thing is, that makes me ask, like, are they doing that as a small team? Can how they do what they do scale? I don't know. I don't know the answers. It makes me wonder. Like, when the answer is I can't, it's like, I want to know why. Oh, I just realised I don't have to go all the way back to my bed because I brought it with me, and that was the whole idea. But if you scale it up, is it still Element Animation, says Yisat. Oh, goodness me, there's a drowned here. Yeah, I think it still can be. So if you scale it up right. So much, like, a lot of stuff, there isn't like a blanket rule to how things can or can't be done, right? It's just if you execute well. Like, if you just brought in a bunch of execs that knew nothing about Minecraft and animation, and then, you know, they're like, oh, we're going to hire this team and you lot work here and there, and, like, you know, they don't give it any care or thought, but you can do it terribly. You can scale up in a bad way. You bring in the right people with the right ideas that understand who they're working with. You know, a lot of things in life, it's this way or that way, it's how you go about it. So I don't think scaling up a animation studio, I mean, there's bigger ones that function, right? So it doesn't seem like there's anything inherently wrong with trying to scale it up. Crappy Toast, the one, the only, 35 months. Wishing you a good stream and wishing everyone a nice day. Thanks for tuning in, my dude. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for the support. Oh, it's 2 there, is it? Didn't even notice. Right, and then no more here. I thought we were starting to run out, and it's like, no, there's always more. There's always more. Right, next question, please. That is Blackstone there. Have I actually... I couldn't... Surely I haven't run out of Hyperthay, because I checked it on... Oh, do you know what? When I checked the list, it was for half of the map. Which kind of makes sense. Kind of makes sense. Let's make a whole bunch right there. Yeah, okay. I was thinking, that's weird. How can I run out? I just went and grabbed some from my infinite supply of it. I mean, technically not infinite, but kind of infinite. Well, actually, yeah, if you just leave the game running, it will produce it forever, so maybe it is infinite. Do I ever listen to K-pop? Not especially. Listened to a bit of J-pop back in the day, but never got big into that. Did you know Caitlin and Evan are Hermitcraft fans? I could assume as much, because I'd seen them on the Imp and Skiz podcast, so I know that they were aware of us. So it wasn't too surprising to see them on the Imp and Skid podcast that they did at TwitchCon, which was really cool to watch. For anyone that hasn't seen it, you should go at least check it out. If you're not aware of the Imp and Skiz podcast. Amazing podcast. You should totally check it out. The White Wolves, thank you so much for 2 months with the Prime. Appreciate you, my dude. Appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That episode was lovely, says Late One. Absolutely. Absolutely, it was lovely. Did I watch Gem's vlog? I flicked through it a bit, just to sort of see the different places they went to and what they got up to. It was cool. Are you using shaders? It looks amazing. I do not use shaders. That being said, I did install the shaders mod, and there was a button to turn it on and off. I think I disabled the mod as opposed to use the hotkey. Pretty sure, so I don't have shaders on. It's how my game is set up. I've never really liked... never really liked shaders, and I've never really liked resource packs. Like, obviously I use vanilla tweaks, but that's with the intention of keeping it vanilla and tweaking 1 or 2 things. If I watch a video or a stream and there's like a resource pack or whatever, it just puts me off immediately. I'm just like, I don't want to watch this. Oh, we got dancing emotes in chat, eh? The song is a bop. Also, I am really looking forward to hearing that new, what sounds like a Pig Step remix. And if it is, honestly, it sounds fantastic. Really curious about that. Do you think they'll ever add the mob vote losers, and which one would you like to see the most? I don't think they will, because, like, what was the point of the vote if they then go and add everything? So, I'd say they probably won't. They've also now ditched the mob votes, which is what the community wanted. I can't wait to see people get angry and start commenting about how they missed the mob votes and stuff. Most of my criticism of the mob vote, to be honest, is just the community reaction to it. Like, maybe I say, oh, you know, Mojang shouldn't do this because look at the reaction it provokes. But it's honestly just the reaction. It's like, all these weird ideas emerge. Like, acting as if, because a mob didn't get added to the game, it's some sort of thing that's been taken away. It's just, don't have to make the worst out of everything. If you want to know why I think and say some of these things about stuff like mob vote, honestly, like, next time I put out a snapshot video or whatever, or the one that's out now, just go read the comments from it and you'll understand why I say the things I say. Because I'm scrolling through my comments, it's like, wow, Mojang have done a great job on this one. The next comment's like, this is the worst thing ever. I hope Mojang die in a fire, you know? It's like, oh, calm down, people. It's just a computer game. I remember reading one comment about, like, how Mojang are terrible because they kill creativity. They've locked away incredible, beautiful game ideas, never to be seen again. Like, they've teased the audience with this golem and that thing from that mob. And it's like, you're just trying to make this out to be the worst thing ever, and it's annoying. Yeah, I've read comments like that get really dramatic, and I'm just like, oh, shake my head. Come on now, you know? Yeah, the mob votes were just basic concepts. Yeah, like they do stuff constantly. It's not stuff removed. Exactly. You know, they're not fully developed things sitting and waiting to go. They're just ideas. And if I'm not mistaken, isn't there a couple of things in this game that are, like, in a way look like something from, I forget what. Though I think it was actually no, maybe I'm misremembering, but I remember when the crab lost the vote, there was then this snapshot that would let you change reach distance with a data pack, and then people went wild about that, like, oh my god, they see, look, they were going to add the crab, and it's like, maybe not. You know, this was probably on their list of things to turn into a data-driven part of the game anyway. But yes, I'm pretty sure there has been like one or two things where you can kind of tell, oh, that was probably from the mob vote and now it's part of this thing, but for some reason it's not jumping to mind. I might be misremembering though. Question, do you have Pig Step in the playlist? I don't remember hearing it here. I don't, actually. I take Pig Step out of habit because of copyright issues with it. Oh yeah, we're out of Hyperfay now, so see you later on that one. Yeah, people got mad they introduced a few concepts from the mob vote into the April Fool's snapshot. Yeah, that's another one. Reading the potato update, and people were like, oh my god, like, Mojang are just wasting all this time and resources on a stupid April Fool's update. And then other people are like taking things from it really serious, like, why don't we have the grappling hook? And it's like, they're all just like jokes and concepts and ideas. Yeah, and no, you're right. They did introduce a couple of things from it. I just can't remember what. But yeah, they clearly use like the April Fool's stuff just to test pilot ideas from time to time, right? And like, that's a great way to do it. You know, it's a cool thing to give something silly to the audience once a year. And if you play these things for any amount of time, you'll realize that they are not properly implemented. They are just bits of code. They're more like mods. They just threw some stuff in there, because if you play with it for long enough, things will start breaking. There's certain behavioral things that don't work very well. I've played these updates and they ship with bugs and issues because they're not taken seriously. Gstav, thank you for 104 months. Wow. People get mad about anything. Don't put too much weight on anger, but instead try to focus on what's positive, and life becomes much easier. That's a great way of putting it. Yeah, I'm like that, but I continually expose myself to negativity through those comments. It is a bit more of a joke to me. I don't take it too seriously. Like, I can laugh it off, but it can't be healthy to constantly see that kind of attitude, right? But I see it. Trust me, I see it. And it don't seem that healthy. Thank you again, my dude, for the tremendous support over 100 months. Absolutely insane. The sky dimension that never was. Right, but like... Yeah, like, do they have to add a sky dimension? It's just when they do these jokey updates and stuff. Like, why turn it into something that's a loss? It's a win. We got something extra. It was fun. They played around with some ideas, threw it into a snapshot, and, you know, we get to have a laugh. And some of them are really great. Like, the Infinity snapshot is, like, a replayable, fun thing to do. It's almost a shame that one doesn't keep up to date with the newer versions of the game. I think it'd be really nice if, like, they could perhaps stabilize that a little bit and give you, like, an Infinity mode, but then they would be adding more weight to the production of the game's needs. You know, they have to update it every update, but that was a really cool one. It's inescapable to some extent, but you can always do your best to focus on positives. Absolutely. For some people, a bugged mod is normal. A bugged game is a sign Mojang want us dead, and yes, they should had a lot of new content. What? I don't know if you're saying what I think you're saying, but again, I read these comments about Mojang is trying to kill the modding community. I've been reading those comments for 15 years now. It's ridiculous. You know, they're always just about to pull the plug on Java Edition, and then it never happens. And they just keep updating it. It's part of their evil plan to keep you distracted, you know? They're just going to keep updating it so you don't realize they're going to kill it. Genius. Genius. Yeah, that stuff is like, ah, God. But yeah, like, the thing about modding being bugs and stuff is, like, when you see these comments about, oh, mods can add all of this in a week and Mojang can't do, it's just not weighing it up properly. Developing the game is not the same as putting in modded code, and a lot of these mods like ship with issues, like, you know, like Matica and stuff that I'm using. They introduce all sorts of visual bugs to the game. I got like the optimizing ones on here, Nvidium and Sodium or whatever it is, and like there's aspects of rendering that don't work properly because of all the modding optimizations they've made. Like, there's compromises. You use the mods, you get a few more frames, then stuff doesn't render properly. But we tolerate that because it's modded, and then we hold Mojang to a different standard when we're trying to compare the two. It's just silly. Totally silly. You know, Mojang developed the game and the game engine for the long run, and mods just sit on top of it. Two different things. Oh, the music ran out. The April Fool's update, Mojang can in fact throw out a bunch of new features in a short time frame when they don't have to consider game design or code quality. Exactly, yeah. Like, none of those things were implemented for the long run. You know, they were just jokey little bits of code thrown in to have fun with. And with them making the game more data-driven, I wouldn't be surprised if that made it easier to implement that stuff too. Skycast says, and also a passion project. Yeah, it's a bit of a passion project on the side, I guess. Right, I really want to finish putting in this hyperphase stuff, so I think I'm going to pause the flashback and do that. Is that the black terracotta again? I might actually have more of that somewhere. I didn't think to check. Is that grey or black? Let's find out. Grey, okay. Let's go pause the thing. Pause recording. Where are we going again? Over here somewhere? What about the Warden portal? It's one of those things where, like, Do Mojang have to give it a use? Is it cool to have something in the game that maybe tells a story about a part of the game that is no longer anything at all? I don't know. I feel like they don't have to do anything with it, honestly. Right, I actually think it'd be a good time for me to take a break from the computer. As much as I want to keep going and finish this thing. I think now's actually a good spot for me to take a break, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take a break, which means I've got to find someone to raid. So if you don't want to stick around, please do check out my music before you head out of here. Soulside Eclipse, if you never heard it before, you can listen to it on all the major streaming platforms for free. Right now, though, let's see, who's streaming? I'm gonna send you to Pixel Riffs again. Alright, peeps. So stick around for more Minecraft action. That's gonna be it from me though today. Look out for an episode of Hermitcraft tomorrow. Take care everyone, have a great evening. Bye bye.